Hello students, how are you all? I welcome you to today's session. Well, in today's session, we are going to be taking up your poem that you see in front of you, The Lake Isles of Innisfree. So you can open up your BBC companion through which I'm going to be explaining. Now, before we proceed further, I would like to do a quick recap. In the last session, we did a chapter from the Beehive book, that is the Truly Beautiful Mind, Albert Einstein chapter. I hope you all remember that. Okay, so today again I'm going to pick up your poem from the Beehive book, and this is poem number 4. So today's session contains again 2 videos. This first video will be dealing with the explanation of the poem The Lake Isles of Innisfree, which is written by William Butler Yeats. He is a very famous poet. And in the second video, I'll be discussing the grammar part. The topic will be tenses. Okay, so now let's proceed with our today's session. Yes, students. So as you can see, we are on your BBC companion and we are on the page number 273. Okay, let's start with your first paragraph. So in the first paragraph, as you can see, the first paragraph starts with, I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. Now, yes, wattles, that means twisted sticks. Now, the first paragraph actually, students, William Butler Yeats, okay, in this poem he beautifully describes about his dream, about his childhood dream that he wants to live again. He is at presently living in a city, okay, and he is very tired and fed up of the lifestyle in the city. And he talks about his childhood memory where he stayed. He stayed near the lake Innisfree, okay, and now that he's fed up from this routine, he wishes to leave everything, go back to Innisfree, start staying in his small hometown. And in these paragraphs he describes about his wishes, what he wants to do. So as you can see, he says, I will arise and go now. He says, I want to go away now and I want to go to Innisfree. What he wants to do there, and a small cabin built there. He wants to build a very small hut or a cabin, so we can call it like a cottage of what? It will be of clay and wattles. Wattles means twisted sticks. 9 bean rows will I have there. So he wants to grow rows, beans, and 9 rows of beans, okay, and he wants to have a hive for honeybee, so that he can enjoy having the honey. Now we have the poetic device also over here, students. I'll discuss the poetic device towards the end of the poem. Okay, first let's pay attention on the explanation. And live alone in Bee Loud Glade. And he says, I want to live there alone, away from the Bee Loud Glade. Loud glade means the crowded area. Okay, so let's look at the explanation. The first stanza opens abruptly. Abruptly means without any proper beginning. It just starts and shows that the poet has a strong desire to go to the beautiful and the calm Isles of Innisfree in Lake Low Gill in the county Sligo in Ireland. So this poetry takes place in the place Ireland. Okay, he has spent his childhood in Ireland. He declares that he will get up and leave for Innisfree, where he will build for himself a small cottage with clay and twisted sticks. He would like to be self-sufficient, so he imagines a garden with exactly 9 rows of beans and honey from his own honeycomb. He wants to lead a solitary life. Solitary life here means a life of loneliness. I mean, staying alone. with bees buzzing loudly in open glade. Open glade here means the open farm that he wants to own, far away from the madding crowd, that is the city crowd. Okay, so let's move over to the second paragraph. Yes, students. So you can turn your page to 274 and come to the second paragraph. Now, in the second paragraph, let's see what he further describes. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the crickets sing, their midnights all a glimmer, and noon purple glow, and evenings full of linnets' wings. So now what he says, he's describing how the environment over there is. He says there is a lot of peace, and I want to enjoy and live in that peace. Peace comes dropping slow. That means the life over there is very slow. It's very steady, calm and peaceful. Dropping from the wheels of the morning. So he wheels. Now here again this is a poetic device. Actually wheel का यहाँ पे मीनिंग होता है पर्दा. ओके, सो जैसे ही सुबह की सूरज की पहली किरणें आती हैं, दैट इज़ काइंड ऑफ अ व्हील, काइंड ऑफ अ कवर ऑफ द मॉर्निंग फेस. Okay, so that is a very beautiful color. It's not completely sunny, it's not completely yellowish, but it's just the beginning of the day. And he says in the morning I can hear the crickets sing. Okay, cricket is a kind of an insect. And midnights all a glimmer, and during the night the sky is filled with stars. So students, even today when you go out of city, if you go to countryside area or villages, the sky is absolutely clear and you can see the stars. And noon a purple glow. So during the afternoon when the sun is about to set, so that time the sky turns a little purple. Okay, evenings full of linnets' wings. Linnet is a kind of a bird. So he says that evening the sky is filled with linnet birds, because they are moving towards their nests. So let's look at the explanation quickly. The poet wants to go to Isles of Innisfree because he believes he will enjoy complete peace on the beautiful island. Life is calm and slow paced, unlike the life in the city. In this island, peace remains from morning till evening. When crickets sing, in Innisfree, morning is calm, midnight is bright with glimmer of stars. Glimmer means shine of stars. And the noon time or midday has bright purple glow light. The evenings of the island are made beautiful by fluttering wings of the linnets. Now moving over to the next page where we have your paragraph 3. So this is the last paragraph, and this is a poem of just 3 paragraphs, a very short poem. So in the last poem, now let's see what he says. I will arise and go now, for always night and day. Okay, I hear the lake lapping with sound by the shore, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement grey. I hear it in the deep heart's core. So he in this paragraph he's talking about his present situation. In the present situation, he says, I really want to go away from here, and for good I want to go and stay there permanently. Okay, and he says that yes, I can still hear. Now he's in the city at present. Being in the city, he says, I can still hear the water, the sound of the water. Water lapping means water moving. Okay, by the shore, while I stand on the roadway. So at present he is standing on the road, but while he is standing on the road, he can still feel the the sound of the water on the or on the pavement grey. So pavement grey here means yes, the cemented road that he is standing on. I hear it in deep heart's core. So how does he get to hear this? How is it he's feeling it from his heart? Okay, so that is why he can still feel that the beauty, or the the I would say the sound of the water. So let's look at the explanation. The poet retaliates means he repeats his initial desire to go to Innisfree, because such in his nostalgia. Now students, nostalgia is a kind of a feeling when you miss something so badly, then you can close your eyes and feel all those things, you know. So that is called the feeling of nostalgia, which he is trying to feel in this last paragraph. It's similar to something when, you know, even you might feel nostalgia in certain situations when you're missing something, you want to go back to that particular time. Okay, that he can hear the music produced by the water of Innisfree all day and night. When the poet stands on the cemented road and cold and hard pavement, in the midst means in the middle of the traffic, he hears the sounds of the waves lapping on the shore in the depths of his heart. So this is the end of the poem, students. Now let's quickly look at the poetic devices. Okay, students. Now the first poetic device that we see is alliteration. Now, yes, what is an alliteration? When we have repetition of constant sounds, okay, and it can be with the intervals also. For example, like the line in the first paragraph that we saw, a hive for honeybee. So H and H as it's written. Second paragraph. This was the last paragraph line. The lake water lapping with low sounds. So L lapping and low. Okay. Now the next kind of the poetic device that is in the poem was metaphor. Now metaphor is a speech when we compare two things which are exactly opposite. Okay, so like the thing which I pointed you in the second paragraph, wheels of the morning. So it is a metaphor for the clouds in the morning or the sky to be foggy on the of the early morning, or mist, or maybe dew in the morning of the grass. So the wheel actually, I told you that wheel is a kind of a cover with which the ladies cover their head or they cover their face. So morning cannot have the wheel, but yes, here the wheel in this line is trying to be expressed with the mist or with the dewdrops in the morning. Okay. Now the next poetic device, students, that is personification. Personification is when something is trying to be compared with the human nature, with the human, I would say, traits. Okay, let's see which is personification in the poem. Yes, so as we can see, again the same line has the personification. As I mentioned to you earlier, wheel is a kind of a cover which ladies use to cover their face. So similar, wheel is being the morning is being compared like early morning lady. Okay, next poetic device, this is anaphora. Now this is something new for you, so I'll explain. Anaphora is a repetition of identical word or group of words which are repeated in the same paragraph, or it's repeated in each paragraph. That's called anaphora. For example, look at this line, and I shall have some peace there. For peace comes, so peace and peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the wheels in the morning. So dropping and dropping. See, so here the word peace and dropping is repeated, and peace emphasizes the calmness, and dropping stresses on the peace in the nature that he is missing. Now let's look at the next anaphora. I will arise and go now. This is again repeated. So again, yes, I will arise and go now. It's again an anaphora. So the poet is actually trying to stress its repeating, because the stress is laid about what he wishes to do. So he is clear in his mind that he would definitely get up and leave for Innisfree. Now we have the rhyming scheme also. That is very simple. You can see. I'll show you in the first paragraph. Then you can see in the other paragraphs. You can point out yourself. So rhyming scheme that we have is Innisfree and honeybee. So free and bee, maid and glade. So this is A, B, A, B. Okay. So the poetic, rhyming scheme that we have is A, B, A, B. Similarly, in the next paragraphs, you can see it's C, D, C, D, E, F, and E, F. Okay, students. So this is with the poem, and this is the end of your video 1. Now you can join me again quickly in the second video, where I'm going to be dealing with your grammar chapter of tenses. Okay, and in the meantime I will also show you the stanzas which you're supposed to be noting down in your copies. These are the stanzas, okay, and the short questions. the file that you receive will have your short answers. They are marked, so only those you are supposed to be writing in your copies. Okay, long question, you don't need to write long question of the poem in your copy, but of course the one which I've marked very important, please read that thoroughly from your I would say your final exams point of view. Okay, so yes, now I would end this video here. Please join me in the next video soon.